What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we got a special video for the High Elves faction. We got a brand new champion from their faction, or one who's been recently added for them, High Keeper Prysma. Now, this guy looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of Raid's biggest draws to the game, is how well they make the characters look. Got translucent spear, translucent shield. He's got some cool symbols and runes on it. Looks really awesome. Check out some of the reviews really fast. In my opinion, I find them to be pretty good for arena offense, faction wars, maybe Hydra, some stuff like this. Looking pretty accurate. I haven't used them really anywhere else. For my account, I kind of look at him like maybe this guy is a little bit like Sssshhhh to me. Some people might see some Mad Hatter in him. His A2 can do ally attack with a single target with someone who has the highest crit damage, a lot like the Mad Hatter. But to me, is more like Sssshhhh, where you can kind of give a damage dealer a turn, give him a little bit of a boost, and then try to eliminate the enemy team before they can do something to you. But at the same time, he does kind of feel like he's built a little bit, be a tanky go second type champion as well. We'll go over his kit and I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about, because his passive, for example, seems to be like more go second. His A1 seems more go second. He's a reviver. But we'll talk about what makes him really special, which in my opinion is his A2. So Shining Blitz attacks one enemy. Before attacking, removes all buffs from the target. 5 turns without books. 3 turns when booked up. The ally with the highest crit damage will team up and join the attack. The allies joining the attack will use their default skill and ignore 35% of the target's defense. If the enemy is killed by the ally joining this attack, activates an instant turn effect on that ally. So very cool to be able to get another champion like a DPS, a turn. They have a damage boosting, kind of like a damage amplification effect with the ignore 35% of defense. So if you got someone who's like really, really powerful, you can kind of boost them into a turn, and then whatever they do after that is what they do. Now, the one drawback I find to that is kind of like you got teams full of stone skin. The buff strip is very important, but at the same time, you might want like an AoE buff strip and maybe even multiple turns or attempts at that before you can actually feel like it's reliable that you're actually going to get someone's buffs off to do some damage. His A3 is Revival Radiance, 6 turns unbooked, 4 turns when booked up, revives a dead ally with 75% HP and 75% turn meter, places a 50% increased attack buff and a perfect veil buff in that ally for 2 turns. So just in case you get annihilated by the other team going first, he can bring somebody back with relatively high HPs and turn meter, even if it's just one character. So he does seem like he's a pretty powerful champion in this regard. Now his A1 is pretty cool as well. Sunburst Tail attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 35% chance, 50% chance when booked up, of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. After attacking, transfers all debuffs from the ally with the most debuffs to the target. Will not transfer any CC debuffs based off attack. Now his passive is where things start to get pretty interesting. Light Marked. At the start of this champion's turn is a 40% chance to remove any block debuffs buffs from each enemy and replace them with a blocked buffs debuff. Now that's pretty unique, but it's not going to go through Stone Skin. So maybe if he gets a buff in the future, we can actually add Stone Skin to that. That'd be very, very nice. Because without removing the Stone Skins, kind of useless. Also has a 40% chance to remove any buffs positively affecting stats. Replace them with their mirrored debuff equivalent, such as increased attack being replaced with decreased attack. Buffs such as continuous heal and strengthen will be replaced with heal reduction and weaken debuffs respectively. Now this kind of makes him kind of point to maybe being more of a go second champion than a go first. Maybe it's kind of like an arbiter counter. He does have an aura. It increases ally defense in all battles by 30%. What I find this guy to be like really unique is that A2. A2 is really special, I think. All right, so let me talk about his High Elf faction buddies for 1 second, because I want to build an all High Elf team for the Siege mode with this guy and some other champions. As you can see already, I do not have Fina. That would obviously be a very good option for an all High Elf team. I'll be looking forward to getting her in the future, but I do have some Galathirs, and we'll be taking advantage of them. As far as all High Elf teams go with Prysma, the types of damage dealers we have available are Alexander, Thorion, Yannicka, Tatura, got Bellinor, Ethos, maybe Lysanther, Rowanos, Supreme Elhain could be a pretty decent one. There's really not like a ton of options here. But what there is available, in my opinion, is one of the best options is actually Galathyr. Galathyr is absolutely amazing. He has some very powerful A1 abilities. He also has a very powerful A2 ability. He could be very nice when it comes to teaming up with High Keeper Prysma here. So let's go ahead and get to the arena and just start checking out what he's capable of doing. And we'll run him with some champions like Georgia the Breaker, for example, or maybe Finax. Other champions that have really high A1 abilities that you could also turn into another turn, instant turn effect that could do some damage. But I do want to show you guys an all high elf team with Galathyr to show you what he can do in that respect as well. I think it's pretty special. I love it. I'm a big fan. Okay, so we got High Keeper Prysma built for speed. Got him some stone skin. We got Arbiter here. We're going to try to go first and see if we can get the A2 to kind of annihilate as many of them as possible. Be at least the Monkey King unless we weak hit. We got to worry about the affinities. That does matter. All right, we're going first. Go ahead and speed boost. Got the A2 here. And we could try to buff strip. Maybe we get lucky. We did not get lucky. We did absolutely annihilate the stone skin from UDK, though. That was kind of crazy. All right, let's go ahead and flip it. All right, now we got the A1, the ally attack. Let's see if we can finish off Eric's. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by the A2. Like, I'll take that. That was a lot of damage there. Same thing for this team. We should be able to go first. Since we're using the A1 on the first form, we're going to be using fill turn meter and not decrease turn meter, so it should be okay when it comes to that guy right here. I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly, but you know what he does. All right, A2. Let's go after, I suppose, Odin. Didn't work. All right, we got one kill, so we get the instant turn. Let's go ahead and use the A2. Ripped off the buffs. Not bad. Take out Odin before he ends up using his passive. Alrighty. Go ahead and pose the A1 weaken. Nope. Alright, now his A1 can stun, so go ahead and drop the stun if we can. Nope. Alright, Galathyr dropped the stun. We get the increased accuracy. We're going to use this turn meter boost. Alright, we're going to give increased accuracy, or sorry, increased attack again. See what we can do here. Wipe them out. And we still have our ally attack to use the A1. Should we wipe them out again? There we go. Not bad, not bad. When it comes to like a go second team, they're just not safe. They are just not safe. That was a lot of damage. Okay, but this fight, still want to go first. If we don't go first, we might be in trouble. That Georgia ain't no joke. All right, we're going first. This amplifier, that's what I'm going to call him from now on. Amplifier of damage. Shining Blitz right here is just nutty. Just nutty. Go ahead and hit that Mariska. It really doesn't matter at this point. A1 them all. Bring them back. We could, I mean, I'm just going to be a little bit arrogant right now and just hit him with the A1 again without even having to switch forms and kill them all. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Yeah, he does a lot of damage with his A1, and having Prysma right there to amplify it with the 35% increase or ignore defense is just absolutely nutty. Like, it's a lot. Let's go ahead and give Frolny here a crack at it. See how he does. All right, turn meter boost. We got first turn. Go ahead. Oh, we flipped her buff. Nice. Very nice. Go ahead and take that. To go after him. Let's go ahead and take his buff off and take him out with Frolny. Very nice. 212,000. And here we go. Boom. Block damage. All right, we block the revive. Go ahead and turn meter boost. Do a stun. All right, let's steal the buff. There we go. Let's go. Okay, that worked out very well. So we had Frolny going first. Prysma triggered the turn. We were able to kill everybody. Then Siegfried was exposed, left alone with his block damage buff for Frolny to take it away. And end of story. That's a wrap. All right, let's give it a try with Georgia the Breaker here. Same thing as Frolny. Turn meter boost. Go ahead and go after the easy guy. All right. Take out the Arbiter. UDK, I mean. And finish them off. You can see is like, as long as we go first, Prysma is basically giving our guy a turn over here without even having to have any speed whatsoever, which is very, very nice. All right, so we're going to run Naze this time. See what we can do. Try to target probably Rhonda. All right. UDK does not have stone skin. Okay, so we got our instant turn. We used the A3. Doesn't matter where it goes. It's going to go to UDK. We could try to do an A2 to get rid of Arbiter. There we go. Let's go. All right, fight's over. A3, UDK. Out of here. So you can definitely avoid UDK with Prysma's A2 by targeting a weaker DPS to get that instant turn effect. All right, this fight right here, I'm going to bring all High Elves. This is a little different. This would be something for like a siege team. And obviously we have 2 Galathirs here is living very rich, living a rich man's life. Even if I didn't pay for them, still extremely lucky. Like not many people are going to have an option like this. So I do understand a little bit for show, but we got to see if it's functional. As long as we go first, we should be... Ooh, okay. So right here we got Magma Shield. I should change the fight up just a little tiny bit because we do have to remove that. We can't just fight someone right through Magma Shield. We'll end up dying and it'll be bad news for everybody. All right, let's go after, I think... we'll go after Empress here. Nope, didn't strip it off. Okay. All right, one more chance to strip it off. Here we go. Come on, Empress. Give it up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So here you got not 1, not 2, but 3 opportunities to strip off some buffs, which is very insane. Very insane. But I do think this is going to be a brand new siege team for me. I'm going to be throwing the all High Elf team in there and letting people get a whiff of Arbiter, High Keeper Prysma, and a double Galathir army here, just to see how they like it. And damage Galathir, as you can see, he packs a punch. He hits pretty hard. Try to up the difficulty a little bit with the Mariska Terrace team here. And we got Empress, we got Naze, and this is just a very, we call, I guess, a meta team here. See how we do against a team like this. All right, so we're going to Arbiter Speed Boost. Going to switch forms with the Speed Galathir. A2, hopefully we stir that. We didn't get the stone skin off, it's okay. All right, we have another attempt right now. There we go, got the stone skin. Here comes an A1 from Galathir. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And there is the revive. All right, now Galathir gets an instant turn because he killed some peoples and he just did a lot of damage. Here we go, finish him off. There they are. Yeah, that's a pretty hard-hitting Galathir right there. This is supposed to be a pretty good team. I'm not sure exactly how the gear is, but I mean, we got Mariska, we got Terrace, we got Empress, we got Naze. It's a 6-star Naze. And we were still able to finish him off with our blessing right here. Very nice. All right, we got an all-mythic team here. Let's see what we can do here. Try to go first. All right, first turn, increase attack. Go ahead and try to strip off that buff from Galathir. No luck. All right, try again. No luck. Kill somebody, hopefully. Very nice. All right, we're going to flip forms again. Try to block those skills. Oh, we just finished them off, so that works even better. All right, so we got the Arbiter boosted us. Prysma's doing his thing. Galathir's doing his thing. DPS Galathir doing the damage here, bringing the booms. All right, on to the man himself. Here we go with High Keeper Prysma's stats and masteries and all that good stuff. We got 2 perception sets on him with the stone skin set. The reason being is because I kind of envisioned him being a go second champion, and I didn't want to leave him hanging. Arbiter is kind of like a speed race when you're doing high elves. So there's technically faster arbiters out there. We could technically get beat in the speed race, and then this would come in clutch. So in a lot of the video, we didn't really go second, so we were kind of going first. Go over the stats really fast. Overall, we have 67,000 HP, 2,800 attack, 3,800 defense, 327 speed, 40% crit rate, 94% crit damage, 252 resistance, and 506 accuracy. Now, a lot of speed and accuracy on the gear itself. His multipliers for his A1 and his A2 are pretty decent and kind of high. So if you were going first a lot like I am in the video, you might want to change some of these stats. I mean, you could technically get away with some damage, I would think. He has a 6.5 multiplier on the A2. I have defense percentage and HP percentage on the Gaunt's, and we got speed substat. But like I said, that could be crit damage or crit rating. We have attack percentage on the chest pieces because I had the most speed on it at the moment. But that would definitely work because they're all attack-based skills. We have speed here. We really want him to go first, so the accuracy is very high. We didn't even have the neck piece all the way leveled up, and here we are with the defensive ring. For the blessings, go over the blessing really fast. I liked Life Harvest. I liked having Life Harvest on my team, just in case somebody gets revived. What you could do, since we're going first a lot, is have Temporal Chains on somebody. Arbiter is on the team already, so she has Intimidating Presence. That's already taken care of. 1 Temporal Chains and 1 Life Harvest could be pretty good. I like Life Harvest at a higher level, but if nobody's getting revived, it's not really that useful. You could definitely get away with probably using Cruelty as well, since you're hitting somebody first in this context. Do a little bit of decreased defense while you're there. For the Relic, I was using Codex Luminous because, again, I kind of felt like this was a go second champion. And for the Codex, it says, wearer receives 5% less damage from champions that have a different affinity. A lot of champions from the High Elves faction have different affinity from the Spirit that are used in the arena, like Galathir, for example, Arbiter. So I really like this one, but if you're not going to be going second, like in my case in the video, you're going first, you might actually want to change this to something else. I did really like having this gemstone here. Increases the wearer's chance of placing debuffs to their default skill by 5%, because he does have the stun here. So that's now actually 55% instead of 50%. But I think I'm actually going to be changing him to Orb of Transfixion. And when you get this up to level 9, you get accuracy as the second stat, and then you get speed as the third stat here, if you finally get it all the way leveled up. But get 10% chance, 15% once you leveled it to the first level, get 20 at the second level here, then it goes all the way up to 35%. 35% chance to steal 1 random buff when attacking a target. I mean, it's really only helping the A2, so removes all buffs from the target, just in case. I guess it maybe gives you 2 chances at that, right? Orb and then the actual A2. So 2 chances is better than 1, in my opinion. Is serving the same exact purpose. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with that now. Go ahead and do that. This is most definitely something I could see benefiting him a lot if he's going first. And most definitely, not just him, but the whole team, like the team build. So for the Masteries, there's a lot going on here. You can go a lot of different ways. I kind of built him like a Reviver. that used a little bit of accuracy. We got Pinpoint here. We got Charge Focus, Swarm Smiter, Lore of Steel, Cycle of Magic, Lasting Gifts, Spirit Haste, and Timely Intervention. If you don't have enough accuracy, you could definitely go down here to Eagle Eye. If you kind of wanted to land the stun a little bit more, you get the extra 5% chance here from Fearsome Presence. You could most definitely, if you felt like you're going to be getting attacked, going second, maybe go with something like Retribution or Deterrence. But Cycle of Revenge seemed like a good one for me. Get the 15% turn meter when people get hit, which help you get your turn. We got Defiant, got Improved Parry, got Wisdom of Battle just in case he does get CC'd by any chance. We got Rejuvenation, Shadow Heal. I always like getting healed when the other team heals as opposed to Resurgent here, but Resurgent's a good one as well. Delayed Death, and then like I said, we got Cycle of Revenge. So kind of built him a lot like a Reviver, but in the context of if you got, say, a super speedy Arbiter, maybe you want to build him for a little bit of damage. You could definitely go with something like the support tree and the offense tree, and then maybe head down to Helm Smasher. Like I said, that has a very high A2 multiplier, but you would definitely have to work around these base stats, because just like when it comes to Galathir, having 936 attack, super, super low, is kind of like the crutch. We'd have to get over that crutch right there, that little hampering stat right there, to get any kind of damage here. But I mean, if you could definitely build him to go first, you got Arbiter going first, speed boosting, and using the A2. If you could build him for a little bit of damage, it could definitely help out, help soften the target, to help your damage dealer come through and finish the job to get that instant turn effect. So that's it for today's video. Got High Keeper Prysma. I really like this champ a lot. He has a lot of potential, I think. And if you were trying to use him for somewhere like the Hydra, I think what you could definitely do is build him for something where you're getting those skill cooldowns refreshed a lot. Maybe Impulse set or Reflex set or something like that. You could definitely come in handy for the Hydra with an AoE champion, like we got Galathir up here with the AoEs. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you guys did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take it easy. Have a great day. Peace.